What the fuck is up, people? We got
What's up?
UUC Muay Thai champion, motherfucking Pepsi Man in the house. What's up, brother?
Man, what's up, man? I'm excited to be here again. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on, man. It's been a little bit.
Fuck yeah.
What's been crack-a-lacking in your world, man? I guess we both had a little hurricane action.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just got done with Louder Than Life. There was some bad storms there, but I mean, we managed to pretty much get through it all. Um and Louder Than Life was just absolutely incredible seeing all those bands. It was 130 different bands combined over 4 days. It
Jesus
was it was
Christ,
awesome,
man.
dude.
Did you guys
Yeah.
miss out on an entire day? Was that what happened?
Yeah, the weather got so bad we had to cut it down to 3 days, so a lot of bands got canceled. Slayer got canceled.
Oh, that
Th
sucks.
yeah, that was their return festival too. That was their return festival. Slayer got canceled. Power Man 5000, I believe, got
Oh,
canceled.
that's not that's not
Evanescence
that's not all bad then.
I mean, Evanescence got canceled. I was hoping to see Evanescence,
I've
so
got
it
I've got
it
history with Power Man 5000.
Really?
Yeah, my band opened for them. This would be like 2008, something like that. And yeah, they were a bunch of cock goblins.
Damn. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, they're not really that big anyway. They only got like 2 big hits, in my opinion.
Well, and the only reason they're anything is because the singer is Rob Zombie's brother. So that tells you all you
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah, you got that, and you got the fact that they were on, some WWE games as well and some WWE television.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how much being on a video game soundtrack can carve your musical taste, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many bands
Yeah.
that I've discovered off of like Tony Hawk soundtracks or video game soundtracks in general.
Yeah, the video game soundtracks back then for like SmackDown versus Raw were just so incredible. It was just awesome times. They sharpened my music taste. I think the first real game I really got into and it actually changed my music taste for good was SmackDown versus Raw 2008. That had Chevelle in there.
Oh, now
Really
you're
love.
not now you're speaking my language. They're one of my favorite bands of all time.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, Chevelle's so good. Nobody famous, to be honest, seems like just one of those few individuals that didn't really get popular, even though he was on a video game. But he was on there.
Who's that?
Uh, Nobody famous.
I don't never even heard of that person. So that, yeah, I guess
Yeah, he only has that one song, and even then, it's not really that popular.
what
You
is it?
know,
Is it rock, rap? What kind of music is it?
it's rap. Uh, it's like a good rap, kind of more like indie rap, if anything.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would have been
Um,
probably right around the time that all that shit was getting popular.
oh yeah, yeah, you're right about that.
Who was the standout band that you saw over the course of the 4 days?
For me, it had to be Red.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah, dude, that's a deep cut right there, man.
yeah, Red was super good. I actually got to crowd surf. They made me crowd surf, and that
That's
was fucking awesome.
now.
There was
Let,
this.
let me ask you a weird random question. Were you raised Christian? Is that why you're a Red fan?
Uh,
Because they're like they're kind of like Chevelle, I think, where they kind of started out on a Christian label, and then like I knew a lot of like Christian people that were like hardcore Red fans. That's why I asked that question.
well, I mean, my family's Christian. I'm Christian as well, but I have an open mind on certain stuff. And
To me, that was like the band that parents would let them listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there
yeah,
was a lot like they were like, this is the hardest shit that my parents will tolerate, so this is what I'm going with. So
uh, it's like Red. I think Skillet is another one that
yeah,
kind of
they're
had
another
that
one.
Christian thing going on. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Chevelle's first album was on a Christian label. Not a lot of people know that. You could go
really,
like yeah, you could buy it at like Christian bookstores and shit like that. Not the one that had the
damn,
red on it. This is their first album, point number one, where it had like Mia. and stuff. Not a lot of people, not a lot of people started listening to him until like their later albums, obviously. But yeah, their very first one was on a Christian album, Christian label.
Yeah, man. And to be honest, I I didn't really remember Red all that much until they started playing one of their songs, and I was like, "Oh shit, I know this fucking song. I know these fucking songs. They're
Yeah,
they're fucking awesome."
they're
I think they
dusting off
played
the
the best.
bangers for you, man.
Fuck yeah. There was even this guy. I don't know if he was just flat out drunk or something. This big, muscly, bearded guy who was standing beside me in this huge crowd that Red had for one of the stages, and this they started playing the song, and this guy is just bawling. He is bawling. He's hugging me. He's hugging me tight. He's crying on my shoulder. I'm patting his back like, there, buddy. It's all right. Next thing you know, he's on his knees, face right in the mud, crying. I don't know if he was wasted or this was something that he really needed because I mean, music definitely fucking helps you.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes it just hits you out of nowhere. I think that's why. I mean, everybody gets so deep into it because like music, it's strange because it's not like a drug in the traditional sense, but it's like, dude, it causes physical emotions in you just the same as
Yes,
any kind of substance would.
it's kind of like for me, like all that remains.
Yeah.
That guy can fucking sing. He can scream like a demon, but he has like a voice of an angel as well.
Yeah, he's very versatile, man. And I go way kind of back with that band because the singer for that band, he was originally a singer for a band called Shadows Fall. And
Yes.
yeah, Shadows Fall, him and Shadows Fall parted ways, and then they got a guy named Brian Fair, who it was one of them splits where it was like, no, I think this actually worked out better for everybody because I felt his sound is better for All That Remains, and I feel like Brian Fair's sound was better for Shadows Fall.
Right. Yeah, I would have to say Red was my favorite out of them, but Five Finger Death Punch was also there. They did phenomenal. Who else?
Like two,
Drugs?
I think two of the members of Five Finger Death Punch are black belts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they train with like Eddie Bravo and shit. I think one of them actually like won Pans or something. Like a year ago, I remember seeing the guy that's
That's fucking cool.
Bathory is the guy's one of the guy's last names. I was like, man, what a cool fucking last name that is. Sounds like that. Sounds like an old like French Revolution figure or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, Five Finger Death Punch. I mean, one song that really stood out for me was the Righteous Side of Hell or
Hmm.
whatever it was. Wrong Side of Heaven, Righteous Side of Hell. That was a phenomenal song in my opinion. I really enjoyed that a lot. Five Finger Death Punch did good. The singer, I think, actually injured himself on stage while he was playing. He
Oh
fell off
damn.
the stage
You,
and he did something with his ribs.
I had that exact same thing happen. I saw Mudvayne got back together. It was their first tour. I saw them. I actually saw them, Rob Zombie, and Power Man 5000. But I made sure to get there right when Power Man was leaving. so,
Yeah.
but the singer for Mudvayne fell off the stage, and the song he was singing was the song called "Not Falling," and then he falls off the stage. It turned not falling and fucked himself up pretty good. He managed to get
Oh,
back up and finish the show, but yeah, he definitely fucked himself up. It was quite the fall.
yeah, what a coincidence. Not falling, huh? You fucking fall right flat in your face off the stage.
Yeah, yeah. There's video of it on YouTube. I'll have to find it and send it to you. But yeah, it was just crazy. We were all worried about him.
Yeah, Five Finger Death Punch did amazing. There was this band called Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows, Drugs. I think they did pretty good. Who else was there? Stain was there, Disturbed was there, uh, Point North was there. Um, Stained, I think, was incredible. You really don't get to see a lot of Stained shows
Aaron
all that
Lewis, dude,
often.
you could say what you want about Aaron Lewis. I know like he's a kind of a polarizing figure, but dude, that guy's fucking voice is amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Didn't he? Didn't he leave the band to do some country music?
Yeah, I don't know if he like left the band or he just kind of like, they've been around for so fucking long. They're probably like, he's probably, yeah, I'm gonna do a country album. Like, I don't really care for his country. I'm not a huge country music guy, at least like modern country.
Right.
But I could definitely see that he would probably be pretty good at that.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he's got the voice, he's got the tone and everything.
And dude,
I mean,
country's where the money's at. I mean, let's call it what it
oh
is.
yeah.
If you want to get played on the radio, like country music's what's up.
Yeah, a little bit of Jason Aldean here, a little bit of Billy Currington here, some Jelly Roll,
Now,
honestly.
your town, man, has got I don't know how into hardcore music you are, but I don't know if you know that Louisville's got a monstrous hardcore scene that like kind of came out of nowhere. Like, are you familiar with the band Knocked Loose?
Surprisingly, I'm not.
Really? Yeah, they're a just they came out of Louisville's always had a pretty good hardcore scene. I'm not like huge into hardcore, but like there's certain bands that I pick up on, and Knocked
Right.
Loose is probably like the biggest hardcore band going right now, at least as far as like commercially. And their Louisville does like this huge like hardcore festival, like the thing that you just went to. They do a similar one where it's just nothing but fucking hardcore bands, and it's like 3 days of just hardcore bands, and just the fans just beating the shit out of each other for like 3 days.
That just sounds lovely. That
Yeah,
sounds
so
lovely.
yeah, a younger me would have been all over that, but an older me not so much.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
there's and hell, Cage the Elephant came out of Louisville as well. Like back when I was in my band, they were like an up and coming thing. So yeah, you
yeah.
guys you guys have quite the history with music there.
Yeah, man, we got a lot with, music, we got a lot with, boxing and mixed martial arts, Muhammad Ali and Demetrius Johnson. Um, it's incredible the history that, Louisville has just pretty much all over the world in sports and all this completely different shit. I mean, we have a lot of good things coming forward to us.
Yeah, and I think it trips a lot of people out too because I mean you were both fellow Kentuckians, and I think Kentucky definitely earned some of its reputation as like backwoods country bullshit or whatever, and there is definitely
Yeah.
that for sure. But it's like there's also some areas where it's like this is Kentucky, like seriously, like you could go to Louisville, Lexington, outskirts of Cincinnati, like where I'm from, and like there's just some badass areas where like they've got just as cool of a scene as whatever it is you're into that they can hold their own with whatever that venture might be, whether it's cage
Yeah.
fighting, whether it's music, whether it's whatever, like they got something.
Yeah, man, it's incredible what my fucking state has. I'm proud to be a Kentuckian. I mean, fuck, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. It used to be nothing but tobacco fields and cousin loving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Alabama beats us at that now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's for damn sure. West Virginia, like there's got to be
Oh
somebody to
yeah.
take the torch.
Yeah, that's something. Um the headliners, I believe, for the thing, it was Slipknot. Got to see Slipknot. Slayer was the headliner for day two. That got canceled.
Right.
Then it was Motley Crue, and then it was Corn.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen Korn before. I saw them in 2006. I've never seen Motley Crue. Motley
I
Crue's
like
one.
them.
Yeah,
I
their
thought they
their
were
their show's supposed to be amazing, but they've always just
oh, yeah.
they're one of those bands like Metallica or something where it's like they've been around so fucking long that you forget how badass they are and how many songs they've had just because they've been around. They're like an old pair of shoes or something.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's like if you if
Old
you,
but
if you really
good,
sit there and think about every fucking Motley Crue song that you've heard on the radio in your life and every movie soundtrack that's had some shit in it, it's remarkable.
yes. I also forgot to say that, Judas Priest was there.
They're fire.
I
I've seen them
that was
live.
the
They're
first
very good.
time. Yes, the first time I ever actually saw Judas Priest and actually heard most of their songs, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were, phenomenal.
You know that
And,
dude's like he's like 75 years old, still doing that shit.
yes, I know. Ain't that fucking something?
Dude, they put out an album like a year ago, and I
Yes.
legit like listen to it sometimes. You know what I mean, I'm not listening to it like all like let's just put on old man Judas Priest for old time's sake. I'm like, no, this shit fucking kicks you in the teeth, dude. Like it's good as fuck.
Yeah, man. They played Breaking the Law. They played Painkiller.
Right.
Um, let me see. I think for their new album, I think they played something called Distance.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was called Distance. But Judas Priest was phenomenal. Breaking Benjamin was there. I was excited to see Breaking Benjamin. Um, a whole lot of them. I'm just mad that I did not get to see Evanescence.
Yeah, that would be a cool one to see, man. I've never seen them either, but that I'm not like super into them, but man, you gotta every once in a while it fucking hits hard, man, because that girl's got a voice where it's amazing, but I can only handle it in small doses. But like when I'm in the mood for it, it fucking really hits hard.
I know, dude. I mean, Amy Lee, that's her name.
Yeah, she girl's been hot for like 30 years.
I know, dude. She's still fucking hot. It's insane. I was about to say that. I was about to say that. She's got a great voice, great face. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. Drop dead gorgeous.
Right. She
I mean,
never
seriously.
had no crazy scandals or nothing. I mean, it's hard to do that in that to to stay at the top like that for so long and
Yeah.
that not find out that you're got some P Diddy shit going on.
Dude, don't even get me started on that shit. That is so fucking insane. And if he's going down, he is taking everyone down with him.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this guy had a very good point. He's like, man, he's like, Suge Knight is built for prison. He's like, Puff Daddy's not fucking built for prison, dude. He's like, Puff Daddy's gonna fucking tell on everybody to fucking try to get out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get out of there. I mean, dude, they're going to have Diddy parties with him in the fucking prison. Seriously. Like, he
Ship
ain't
over
going
some
to
of
get
that
out,
baby
man.
oil, man.
I don't know. I mean, knowing Diddy, I actually don't know Diddy, but I mean, you know what I mean. But knowing all this shit that's coming out and shit, he might actually like it. He might like getting
Hey,
fucked
yeah,
in the
you
ass
never
by a
know,
big
man.
dog,
He might be
dude.
like, shit, what was I waiting on? I wasted this long not being in prison.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fucking 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and then the lawyer tried to say something about Costco. And fucking Costco came out. Costco came out and said, "Bitch, we don't fucking have baby oil," which is
Yeah,
shocking, by the way. But
yeah.
oh my fucking god.
You damn sure can't buy it by the 500-gallon drums either, at Costco.
Yeah, dude, he had 784 fangs of dildos.
Jesus Christ, man.
That is just insane. And I mean, let me see
I,
here.
I
I mean,
wonder if he
some of
had
the
names for
names.
all of them like Vince McMahon did.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon and Diddy in a freak off would
Oh
be
my God.
absolutely insane.
They probably hung out. Like I would be shocked if they hadn't.
Yeah, dude, I'd be shocked too if they haven't. I think he went to one of those because there was a old tweet by Vince McMahon saying something about a Diddy party. So we know he was there, absolutely.
Well, everybody seems to have
Um,
the same story. They're like, "Oh, I went to the party, but I left before any of that shit happened." It's like, okay,
yeah, which is like stupid. Like, come
yeah,
on, dude.
come on now, dude. Which I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair, I have definitely been to parties where cocaine was going on and stuff like that, but it's like you wouldn't know that that was going on unless you were already into the set activity. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
people that are into a certain thing, they're gonna find that thing no matter where they go. But it seems to me like that. I mean, that guy is putting on parties that cost $5 million and shit sometimes. So it's like, dude, you're
that's
doing whatever the
insane.
fuck. If he's paying $5 million to throw a party, you're fucking participating. I'm sorry, like you're not getting in
Oh yeah.
probably.
Yeah, man. And now they're fucking saying people like Steve Harvey was there, Kevin Hart, Justin Bieber, obviously. Um, who else? J Lo, of course.
Probably
Yeah,
anybody that's remotely famous for the past 30 years, man. I mean, like that guy's been
yeah,
literally
fucking
been he's
Oprah.
been at the peak of fame for 30 years.
I know. That's just insane.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But the thing I wanted to say about like Vince McMahon and stuff. I don't know if you remember this, but apparently someone came out and said that Vince McMahon would have these personalized created dildos and
Yes.
he would name the dildos after wrestlers and
Right. He
shit.
had brought Brock Lesnar, yeah, Bobby Lashley, or whatever the hell you name them.
You think he had an Andre the Giant?
Oh, dude, I never thought about that. He had the Big Show because that's just too damn obvious.
Oh yeah, to just shine that bald head, huh? Seriously.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Andre.
I think he'd have an Andre the Giant more than the Big Show.
Yeah, I'd say it's too obvious. He would have to have had one that he calls Andre the Giant.
Yeah, there's definitely a Hulk Hogan and a John Cena. There's got to be one of his son-in-law Triple H.
Yeah, oh yeah, that one's in there. Jesus Christ.
Have you
It
seen the documentary? Because I
yeah,
haven't been able to.
yeah, I've watched. I want to say like the last one I just watched is like when John Cena came into the picture. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know how many episodes there are, but that was the last one I just watched. But that's about when I stopped watching wrestling was like um early 2000s, like right after the end of the Attitude era, right when they bought WCW and stuff.
yeah,
That's when I kind of stopped watching. Got more into UFC.
yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like when Chris Benoit did what he did, plus Eddie died,
Yeah,
I feel like that's when wrestling really started to go downhill.
yeah,
Because, it's way more safer now, which I absolutely love, but there was I think the carnage of it made the industry a lot better,
yeah,
because they weren't looking at steroids. They weren't looking at the health shit and all that shit. They weren't looking at the concussions and the CTE until Chris Benoit did what he did because I mean
right.
his brain was fucked up like that. They said he had the fucking brain of a 90-year-old with dementia or some shit.
Yeah, with the body of a super athlete, and he's on fucking every PED in the world.
Yeah, that's God. I mean, you want to talk about Mike Tyson's neck? Chris Benoit's neck was on a whole different level, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
you don't want to make your finisher the flying fucking headbutt. That don't work out too good for
That's
nobody.
horrible. I feel like the flying headbutt, of course, the concussions that he sustained, obviously, and the steroids that he was obviously abusing.
Yeah,
I feel like in a way WWE has some kind of part to really blame in that whole thing happening. Of course, they weren't there when he killed his wife and kid, which is
right.
just fucking horrible. But maybe if they actually looked into shit like that, actually give Benoit the help that he really needed, if they actually paid attention to the concussion side and the steroid side and all
Yeah,
that stuff, maybe the shit that happened wouldn't have happened.
yeah. That's the thing. It's like they knew that stuff was going on, but as far as like the brain trauma and shit, and they just conveniently ignored it. And they're like, well,
Yeah,
we're gonna ignore this until somebody makes us, and that's
and
unfortunately
that's what happened.
that's capitalism sometimes. I mean, that's the downside of unchecked capitalism, which I'm definitely a huge fan of capitalism, but it's like unfortunately you get that shit sometimes, and we're seeing the same shit with the UFC in the middle
Oh
of
yeah,
their lawsuits and shit. You have like these eras when a new thing comes up and there's not enough regulation, and it's just they're naturally going to see what they could get away with, and
oh
sometimes they get
yeah,
away with a lot, unfortunately.
yeah. People in the steroid shit. I mean, I hate it when fans. I hate when they try to make like a drug-free list. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, I don't think anyone is natural. I feel like in a way, they're everyone is hiding very, very good. They just know how to really hide the supplements in their body and shit
yeah,
somehow. Because that's like with Royce Gracie. When Royce fought Nakamura, I believe. Wait, yeah, when he had that trilogy over in Japan in '07 or '08, he tested positive. He tested
yeah.
positive for steroids. You would have never thought Royce Gracie was on fucking steroids if you
Right.
look at 45-year-old man, skinny as fuck. I mean, like seriously, you would never have thought that.
Right.
it's just ridiculous when people say, steroid free list and shit like that. I mean, there's always going to be doubt. There's always going to be suspicion. And I don't think you can make a drug free list. It's better to just make a full on drug list and just keep it as it is. So, I mean, like John Jones, obviously, greatest of all time, I guess, than it is to make a drug free list. They'll probably put Fedor at the top of it, even though Pride never tested for steroids.
Right.
They didn't have a sanctioned commission at all.
Yeah, I think they're going about it the wrong way personally, because like drugs is going to it's in all walks of life, and it's always been in all walks of life, and
Yes.
like as you see with this enhanced games thing that they're getting ready to do, like there are a lot of arguments that drugs make things safer or better in a lot of instances. Like I think adamantly, like it all sounds warm and fuzzy, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
dude, if you're training for a fight and you fuck your shoulder up a week before the fight, and you can't go get a cortisone shot because it's a steroid, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's your livelihood. Fuck that. Let the guy get a cortisone shot if he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. And I think it's just I think it all happened with the baseball shit, because in the 90s when Mark McGuire and all that shit happened, and the Lance Armstrong crap, like
Yeah.
I think the government really just had nothing fucking better to do and was like, let's fuck with baseball and let's fuck with bike riding for whatever reason, and let's give everybody a warm fuzzy feeling that they're having like a safe sport in quotation marks, or drug free this. And it's the same shit with workplaces, right? Like drug tests at workplaces, everybody, or at least most places, make you take drug tests before you work there and shit. Problem is, the only fucking thing that those actually catch is weed, which does not
Right.
really debilitate you at all in the same capacity that a fucking hard drug would, because those things, they only catch hard drugs if you did them like basically on the way to the fucking test. And
Yep.
also, they're under the guise of like, oh, we're gonna have a safe drug-free workplace. Dude, workplace accidents are like higher than they've been since fucking 1950s or some shit, man. It's like, it's crazy. I'm like, dude, this isn't making shit safer for anybody. This whole thing's just a big insurance cop out, is all it is. And then it's got a whole industry behind it of, oh, we gotta drug test people and all this shit, and we gotta hire thousands of fucking people to do this bullshit and hire all these labs. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. It is absolutely insane, what steroids can do. And, like you said, I mean, steroids in a way could be safe, but then at the same time, we had Vitor. We had fucking Vitor Belfort, give Michael Bisping one eye. It's just a weird, I guess, timing coincidence or some shit. I really don't know. Who knows how hard fucking Vitor kicked kicked Michael Bisping's fucking face in.
Yeah, and I mean, it sucks that happened, but I don't think that the steroids really had shit to do with that. You know what I mean? Like Luke Rockhold
Right?
could have just as easily kicked him in the face or whatever. Like an eye poke could
Oh
have just.
yeah.
It's a wonder that John Jones hasn't just pulled his hand out and had somebody's eyeball attached to his finger. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's real easy to point. And honestly, I look at the other perspective. I'm like, I want fucking prime. I'm 40 years old, man. It's like, dude, I'd love to be looking like fucking Vitor. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Anyone would love to be looking like Vitor
Yeah,
or
it's like, dude,
Overeem or any of those guys.
for sure. So I want more of that shit. You know what I mean? I want like hell, could Randy Couture have gone a few fucking more years if he had the good shit? Like who knows, man? Like I want more of that shit. Why not have a 52-year-old guy be in his prime if you know medicine can help it? I don't want to honestly see a problem with it. Let them, you know, if they can fight for longer and make more money, as long as they're checking their brain and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, man. We don't want another fucking Benoit incident.
Right.
I'm I'm still trying to figure out, if or actually I'll say this first about the steroid thing because I still can't get over it with people and Fedor Emelianenko. I feel like Fedor is like one of those guys that you would never suspect doing steroids at all just by looking at his body. And then, out of nowhere, he's just ragdolling these guys who are juiced up. He's
Yeah.
ragdolling Mark Coleman's out of nowhere. It's fucking insane to me. It is so fucking insane to me with Fedor. But I mean, I don't think that ruins his legacy. I don't think steroids at all really ruin someone's legacy. Because if you really wanted to make a full on list, and just go by people who never tested positive at all, you would have to cut almost or probably more than half of the history of MMA entirely. You know,
Right.
you would have to cut out Pride entirely. You would have to cut out the UFC until what? Maybe USADA, maybe. And I mean, even then, the drug testing that they had before USADA, I mean, it was so easy. George said it himself. They would
Intelligence
just piss in the
test.
cup and just go by that.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's really fucking insane. I think everybody on there was at least on some kind of drugs, some kind of steroids, some kind of performance booster, and I still think it doesn't really affect anybody's legacy. In my opinion, I say people need to just go ahead and let these guys fight with all the fucking steroids that they can put into their body, or if they want to put into their body and shit, because it makes things a lot more easier.
Yeah, and if you really vehemently think like that you can do better, because there are a lot of people like Mighty Mouse and stuff that swear that they've never done anything, maybe they have, but maybe Mighty Mouse hasn't done anything. Maybe he's just naturally that gifted and stuff. Like if you think
Yeah,
there's arguments to it both ways. Like if you think that you can actually get better results just by because there's the mental weakness thing that comes into play where it's like is that person mentally weak that stuck that needle in their ass or whatever. It's there is always that and I think largely part of the problem is too is that we use the that term steroids is kind of like the term crackhead. You know what I mean? It's like when you see like some drug addict on the street, like it's easy to just go, that's a crackhead. Chances are he's probably not actually doing crack specifically. You know what I mean? That term just kind of stuck from the 80s. Like he's probably on bath salts or whatever kind of shit's going around today or fentanyl. It's same way with steroids. It's like, was Fedor taking anabolic steroids like straight up? Probably not. Like, but he had the entire Russian doping program probably helping his ass out.
yeah,
Was it traditional steroids that you know, uh, probably not. He's probably on some next level EPO shit or whatever kind of high end shit. I think he had better shit than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this
yeah.
was
I
just
feel
the
like
dirty
anyone
Mexican
can get away
steroids.
with anything. I feel
Yes.
like they can all just pretty much get away with anything. But I'm just saying it like this. With Demetrius Johnson, I mean, that's possibly right. But I'm saying it like this. Let's and I know they're two different sports, but let's look at like the NBA, If Tristan Thompson is getting fucking testing positive for steroids and he's not really even all that good, what do you think people like LeBron and Kevin Durant and all those fucking guys are making? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they got the money to get the best shit.
I know. It's just fucking insane to me, man. But yeah, maybe with Demetrius Johnson. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, with Chase Hooper, I don't think Chase Hooper has ever done a steroid in his life.
Well,
Raul Rosas Jr. I mean, if you look at
John
him
Fitch and
recently, maybe.
Jake Shield broke my heart with this shit, right? Because I would listen to John Fitch and Jake Shields both just poetically talk about how anti PED they were and stuff, and they would just I had to fight people with steroids, and then both of those motherfuckers ended up popping. And
Yeah, I
it was
mean,
like Hulk Hogan fucking getting busted for steroids. It's like you
yeah,
mean
and I mean,
but
honestly, you would never think John Fitch or
right,
Jake Shields, of all people, would be on steroids. That's what
right.
I'm saying. If fucking Carlos Felipe, Walt Harris, Royce Gracie, and all these fucking people, who you would never suspect is on steroids, maybe Walt Harris, maybe, but definitely not like Carlos Felipe or Royce Gracie in '07 and shit like that. If they're doing fucking steroids, who else do you think is doing fucking steroids?
Yeah, I mean, and you got to look at it like, if you wake up feeling like crap and you got to go, you don't really have any sick days for work, dude. You got to fucking do what you got to do. You got to drink your fucking pot of coffee and pop your fucking eight Advil. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do to get your ass to work. And I feel like that's probably largely what happens with these guys. And what you notice a lot of times is
Yeah.
people start testing positive later in their career. I don't was Hoist might not have been doing this shit when he was younger for it might not have even served him, but now he probably just needed it to get through the actual training. I'm imagining is probably what
Oh
happened because
yeah.
the training is what breaks you down, man. Like they all say, the fight's the easy part, but man, the getting your ass up every day, putting in that fucking work, and then you're waking up just sore as can fucking be. You slept like shit the night before. Like that shit is so fucking rough, and that's probably where they really need it most is the recovery, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, man. And if I'm actually I'm trying to look it up right now just to see if anybody even has gotten caught. Because
Recently,
I don't think Mark Coleman has ever popped. He's never legitimately popped, but everyone would know that he's
right.
on steroids.
Yeah, you would be a fool to think that. I think he's admitted to it. I think Kevin Randleman did as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, not there just was no if there was testing, it was just bad. You know what I mean? It just it was an intelligence test.
Yeah, man. And I mean, if you want to talk the most juiced up people, Coleman's there, Shamrock is there. Um, who else? Obviously, probably Bobby Lashley, maybe
Yeah, I'd say so. Brock Lesnar
Bob
probably.
Sapp. Bob Sapp has to be there. I mean, just I know he's a big football guy, but I mean, seriously, any
Phil
football guy's on steroids
Phil
too.
Baroni. Yeah, I mean there's lots
Yes,
of people.
New York badass, and he's a nutter case. He is fucking insane.
Oh yeah, he
He's
killed
another
his
big fish
girlfriend
to
allegedly.
CTE. Yeah, I know he killed his girlfriend. I mean, his fucking thing doesn't hold up, and the people that he fucking runs around with. He tried to defend Molenkamp. Or not
Right.
Molenkamp. What the
War
fuck?
War, War
No.
Machine. War
Yes,
Machine.
War
Yeah.
Machine. I was trying to act smart and say his actual fucking name, but yeah.
Copenhagen.
Copenhager, yeah. I said Molenkamp. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that Hans Molenkamp's the guy that runs Monster.
Yes. I know.
That's the guy that Tom Cruise was beefing with.
Yeah, that guy's he's kind of fucking weird too.
Yeah, he's got DuPont vibes. That guy that started Foxcatcher, he's got John DuPont vibes for sure.
Oh yeah. But you said something about the shoulders and stuff. Um Hanato Moicano. I mean, what
Yeah,
the fuck was that? That was insane.
I don't know how that guy was able to do that fight, man. Because I separated my shoulder. I was probably like 6 months into training jujitsu, and I posted somebody went to double leg me, and I just put you just natural instinct. You post your arm out to stop it. Actually, Shogun did the same thing against Mark Coleman. He broke his or
Oh
he
yeah, you're
separated his
talking about
shoulder. Yeah, and that
that.
happened to me, man. And I got up and I couldn't move my arm. It was just like dangling there like dead weight. And I'm like, that's
Oh,
strange. Yeah, and so I don't even know how the hell that guy was throwing his arm around
that's insane.
because I literally couldn't get mine to do anything for several weeks. It was just dangling there.
Yeah, and I mean, I always like to protest the fucking fights and shit, but I think they made the right call. I mean, seriously, fucking BSD was not going to be able to fucking see out of that eye. He
No,
won the second round, in my opinion, but I
yeah,
mean, there was just like nothing that you could do. That eye was already fucked up.
yeah, and that's a young, talented, up and coming guy too, man. There's no sense to damage that guy permanently. You know, he
You would
took
never think that he's 28 years old or
no.
29.
Yeah,
It's insane.
it's wild. In my brain, I think the special forces shit too. In my brain, I feel like the guy's like 38 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
Yeah,
there.
with
There was no sense for that guy to lose an eye or have any sort of infection.
yeah, absolutely. The French made the right call, uh, but they seem a little bit butthurt. I think they're trying to get Eileen Perez and Brian Battle banned from ever fighting in France ever again.
I think Brian Battle should go there once a year and fucking take out a French guy.
Yeah, that'd be
I
funny
think
as
that should
fuck.
be a yearly tradition. Yeah, I thought that shit was so fucking funny. I think Brian Battle is just a fucking star, dude.
It's crazy to see how much he has improved from his time in the Ultimate Fighter. He has very much impressed me a lot. Moicano impressed me too.
Yep.
Uh, I don't like switching the topics and the fighters like this, but I do have to say this about Moicano. I couldn't give a fuck about Moicano at all
Right.
before the BSD fight. And I thought to myself, oh, yeah, BSD is probably going to run over this guy. I think he's got good takedown defense. He showed it against Frevola. He can get up to his feet easily, and he can absolutely crack. And we've seen with those last fights that Moicano had against Drew Dober, Jalen Turner, and a whole lot of people. I mean, his body is like made of glass,
Yep.
in my opinion. But he fucking impressed me good. And then he did that all that with that shoulder and shit. That dude made me a fan, honestly. I mean, his fucking interviews are still stupid as fuck, but he made me a fan with his fight style now.
You know what's crazy is like everyone thinks he's like this up and coming guy. He's been in the UFC like 10 years.
And that's insane.
Yeah, I remember the first time I took notice of him, he fought Jose Aldo, and I was training for the I was training with Nobu and Yao was my gym, which is obviously Jose Aldo's gym, so we were affiliated with them. So obviously I was a Jose Aldo fan before that, but
Yeah.
obviously I'm rooting for Jose Aldo to win, and I think he was just coming off the Conor fight. And then they put him up against this up and coming kid Moicano, and they're like, dude, this guy's a monster, and Jose Aldo beat the fuck out of him. So that was obviously I went into it not liking Moicano because he was fighting Jose Aldo, but then he's slowly kind of crept up everybody's radar. I think once he started doing this Money Moicano thing, that's really helped his cause a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
he's 36 years old. He's been in the company 10 years, and it feels like he's an overnight success all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that whole gimmick thing that he's playing right now pretty much saved his career. And I mean, he's always really fought the best. I feel like his best win still is probably Calvin Cater or BSD.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, who has he lost to? He's
That
lost to
Jalen Turner
Hermosillo.
win was pretty good.
Yeah, the Jalen Turner win was good. I'll give
He
him that.
he
Absolutely.
should have lost. 'Cause Jalen Turner should have just followed up with a couple ground and pound punches. But
Yeah, but Turner's a dumb fuck.
yeah,
He's a
he
dumb.
is. Yeah,
He ruined almost anyone's parlays that night.
he's the modern day Melvin Goulart. Jalen Turner is.
Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison.
Yeah, all the talent in the world, but just a fuck up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not the personal. It's just that's just kind of what they do. They just stub their toe when it matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said he did that because because of the whole Bobby Green situation. He wanted that fight stopped bad
Yeah.
immediately, and he felt bad, so he had some restraint for Moicano. But I mean, that's the thing about it. You don't stop until the ref pulls you off.
Yeah, it's not your job to stop the fight.
I mean, you want to have a little bit of showing and a little bit of restraint. That costs you and your family money, win money, maybe even a performance bonus because you had a little bit of restraint. That's insane.
Well, I think Mark Hunt, everybody wants to be Mark Hunt, but the problem is you're not Mark Hunt. You know what I mean? Mark Hunt's a
Oh yeah,
280-pound dude that fucking throws car batteries at your head. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
just
You're a 155-pound guy. You hit hard as fuck for 155 pounds, but Mark Hunt fucking hits people, and he knows he can feel he's hit so many motherfuckers that he knows as soon as he lands that he knows it's over. You know what I mean? He could feel it immediately. He knows like, oh wow, that was a little softer than it should have been. You know what I mean? Like that one squished a little bit more. Like that guy don't want it anymore.
dude. Mark Hunt and Bigfoot Silva was such a good fucking fight.
But yeah, both of them were good, man. The first one though, holy shit, man.
Yeah, that was fucking insane. And I mean, there's a lot of good
Bigfoot was never
heavyweight fights.
Bigfoot was done after that. He was never the same.
Oh yeah, I mean, then he popped. Just that didn't really help him.
Nah, it
But
didn't help anything.
yeah, but there's a lot of good heavyweight fights. Obviously, Don Fry and Takayama. I want to say Don Fry and Tank Abbott as well. That was a good fight for how long it lasted.
Yeah, Don Fry got the choke, I think, eventually, but he weathered some storms in that.
Tank Abbott and that fucking jab that he had that dropped him. I mean, that just shows you how much power he had. He drops you with a little fucking jab and cuts you open immediately like that.
That's a dangerous
Just
dude, man. I want to read his autobiography. It's an autobiography in quotation marks, but it's a fictional piece. He said for legal reasons, you know what I'm saying. But it's an autobiography. He just like changed the name of the character from him to some other guy. But it tells like
yeah.
all the crazy fucking bar fight stories and shit he's had, and you know that's got
Oh,
to be an
dude,
amazing
that's
read
wonderful. That sounds awesome, dude.
because that motherfucker lived it, dude. You know what I mean? He wasn't there just to fucking get a paycheck. That guy fucking lived it.
My favorite Tank Abbott moment is still when he said something about Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Shamrock benching like 600 pounds and stuff, and then he
Yeah, he said he
responded.
had last time he benched 600, he was underneath a fat woman or something.
Yeah, the only time the only time he's been under 600 pounds is at a plus size whorehouse.
Yeah.
That shit's funny as fuck.
Yeah, that guy
Dude
fucking
was
rules, man.
he had good fights. One fight a lot of people don't look at a lot is Steve Bosse and Sean O'Connor or Sean O'Connell. I would definitely recommend that fight if you've never seen it.
Is
That
that
was a
what
really good
is
fight.
one of them the one where he tried to throw him out of the cage?
Tank Abbott did that. Let me see.
That's when they had
I
the
don't
lower,
remember.
that's the reason they have the cage higher now.
Yes.
Because they used to have it like it was like shoulder level, and Tank Abbott's like, I'm gonna throw this motherfucker right out of the cage.
I know it's Tank was an absolute beast of a man. That
Great,
guy is just
great nickname too.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
it fit him.
yeah, you know, me being Tank as well,
I
kind of
feel
got a
like he
soft
was like
spot.
I feel like he was like one of the real first superstars of the UFC when they started because I mean, Tank Abbott was like everybody's favorite.
I'll tell you from because I was around for all of it, right? So I'll tell you from when I say casual, it was like what you would hear, what I would hear at school from kids, right? So we
Yeah.
would first would watch first it was Hoist Gracie. Everybody talked about Hoist Gracie because like you were back then you were cool if you had like the tape or whatever. And
Yes.
people were like, "Oh, dude, there's this Hoist Gracie guy." And then you started to hear about a guy named Don Fry. Is
Yep.
what you would hear about. He was like everybody knew he was like a firefighter. And he was and yeah, he's a good looking son of a bitch, man. He looked like Tom Selleck. I mean, that guy was just a fucking the dude looks like the fucking Marlboro Man or something, right? So like obviously
Yeah.
he it stands the reason why he got famous. And then you started hearing about Tank Abbott, and then it was Tito Ortiz, and
Yep.
that was the order of the way the stardom came.
Yeah, absolutely Tito Ortiz. I mean, that guy, with his a lot of people like to say that Forrest Griffin and Bonner saved the UFC, which I absolutely agree with as well. But I feel like it's half and half. I feel like it's that and the rivalry that Tito and Ken Shamrock had.
Right,
Yeah. Um, and what Tito did to Ken Shamrock in all three fights, I mean, it's just
ugly.
ugly. Yes.
Well, I think
Tito was so good.
sometimes when there's just a thing is getting ready to boil over, man, and it's like you know, like Beatles and Rolling Stones and shit. Like would the British invasion have still happened if it wasn't for the Beatles? Like yeah, probably because you had the Rolling Stones and the Animals and shit. They were getting ready to pop off too. Or like the punk rock thing, like you had Sex Pistols doing the shit the same time as the Ramones were, at the same time as the Misfits were. Like that scene was getting ready to bubble out no matter what. It was kind of the culmination of parts. So it's like in wrestling when was it Stone Cold that saved the WWE, or was it The Rock that saved the WWE, or was it Mick Foley that saved the WWE, or it's probably all the shit, right? It was like
Yeah.
the entire thing is greater than the sum of its individual parts. So it's like I see what you mean with like I don't think Tito gets his because people Tito he gives you a lot to fucking make fun of, right? So it's
Oh yeah.
but you can't discount that that guy was out there running his mouth, putting himself out there with his dorky fucking blonde ass hair, you know what I mean, and the flags and doing all this fucking shit, just eating shit left and right from fucking everybody that had anything to say. And he went out
Yes.
there, married a porn star. That didn't fucking help his cause. And he fucking
Not at all.
swallowed every bit of that shit and fucking did the thing in spite of that. And you cannot argue that. Anybody that's ever put themselves in an uncomfortable situation like that, you don't have half the fucking a fraction of the balls that a guy like Tito Ortiz has to deal with
Oh,
that kind of
exactly,
pressure.
dude. He's another guy who suffers from CTE, and I mean, it's like you and me are saying,
Not
people
Tito,
don't really give Tito his flowers. The guy never really had a boring fight in his career. If he did, it was very rarely. He has one of the best resumes ever, whether you really look at him or not. Uh,
He beat Vanderlei way back in the day, dude.
yeah, he beat Vanderlei. He's beaten Vitor. He's beaten Forrest Griffin. I still don't count the fucking Chuck Liddell fight.
Right,
But Ken Shamrock, Guy Mezger, Evan
right.
Tanner. I mean, dude, he was so good back then.
Yeah, he was a talented fucking dude, man. Like you could say what you want about him, but he went out there and did the damn thing.
even his fights where he lost, he was so close. He almost beat Rashad. He almost tapped
Right.
out Lyoto Machida with that triangle.
Dude, he took out prime Ryan Bader.
I know, with just like one of the most shocking upsets
Little
ever.
shovel punch that he fucking got him with and just put his ass out.
I know, dude. It's just insane. And then he got that guillotine. You really don't see Tito go for a fucking submission.
Yeah,
And
and
then he did that.
he was doing well in the Bellator. He fought for the belt in Bellator, and he was
Yes.
doing well until the guy got him in a reverse triangle from side control because
Yeah,
that guy was
Liam
really good with
Yuri.
that. Yeah, that guy had a lights out fucking sneaky triangle he gets you in from side control. You think you're safe, and all of a sudden you're getting fucking triangled.
Yeah, he fought he made his debut in Bellator when he fought Shlemenko, I think.
Yeah, and
And
he fought Chael over there too.
yes.
He beat Shlemenko, right?
Yes, he beat Shlemenko. He tapped him
Yeah,
out.
Dude, Shlemenko's good as fuck, dude. Like honestly, he was like 30-2 or some shit.
I know. That's just insane. And he did that while he retired. 2 years later, comes back, goes to Bellator, almost beats the fucking champion, was whooping his ass until he
Right.
got caught with that triangle choke. It's just insane, man. Tito was so fucking talented, and it's just sad that people really make fun of him like that.
Well, it's I think he's in on the gag to be quite honest. I think he literally tries to go out there and just get fucking he'd rather have he's one of those no news is bad news kind of people. So he'd rather be in the
Yeah.
headlines for saying stupid shit than he would just not be in headlines at all. I think that's where he's figured it out. He has to know that there's 9,000 websites that just regurgitate all of his clips, you know what I'm saying? Like he's
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
he definitely knows. There's no way he doesn't know. There's no way.
Um
But
well
my goodness,
to
awesome.
to switch gears to UUC world shit a little bit, because I got about we got about 10 minutes left. So we got some exciting shit getting ready to drop, don't we?
Oh yeah, I saw it, man. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. I mean, I don't know what else to really say without spoiling it, but I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised with what the modders and what all of them are just pretty much doing right now with the game. We got some awesome shit going on.
Yep.
Um, I don't want to say too much about it, but I mean, just expect a lot of new shit and expect us to be way more unlocked than UDF has ever been.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we'll use the I mean, this term gets used a lot, but game changer. I mean, that's 1,000%
Yes.
what is getting ready to drop, and it's the amount of people coming together to do a fucking cool thing and to do it under cool circumstances and not be egomaniacs about anything, just really collectively working together for the just the common good of a thing is just unbelievable what we've experienced here. We've got so many fucking cool people working on this shit. So we've got Hemoth, we've got Board, we've got Codeine, we've got Hollywood, we've got Blessive, I think there's probably one or two more people that we
Well,
got Dizzy working on things. We got Hamslinger working on some shit.
oh really?
We've got Devin working on a few things.
That's
Uh
awesome.
yeah, and it's nobody's doing it for clout, nobody's doing it for to fucking get clicks. You know what I'm saying? This is just everybody loves this game and loves the scene, loves what we're doing here at UUC, and they've all just put their heart and soul into this fucking thing, and it's gonna blow people's tits off.
Yeah, man. Everything is just so good, and it's always going to be better when you don't have this 13 or 14-year-old kid from India trying to tell you what you can or what you can't do, and who you can talk to and who you can't talk to. And I mean, we know who we're talking about,
Right,
honestly, but it's just I'll never understand what's up with the guy and why people trust him. He's been shown to be a fake individual.
right.
He's been shown to be a scammer, and he's not trustworthy at all. But what we're doing, what Devin, Dissy, Codeine, Quell, Him off is doing, Board, just all those guys. What they're doing is just absolutely incredible and is so much better than hearing anything from what that little kid has to say.
Well, and largely what you had going on before, it was people gatekeeping things.
Yes.
Instead of somebody figuring out something cool and sharing how to do it with everybody, they're trying to gatekeep it and keep it to themselves. That way only they can mess with it and only they can do this thing or whatever. You were seeing a lot of weird shit, like people would make like a model of somebody. They'd be like, "Oh, look at this Brock Lesnar, more modern Brock Lesnar I made," and like people would get super weird, like you can't put that in your shit because I made that texture or whatever. And meanwhile, it's textures that they probably took from fucking one of the EA's games and just incorporated it into the fucking thing. And basically, they started acting like they made UFC undisputed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
which is
It's
uh
not the fucking case, and I don't know why it went that particular direction, but what we've done here is we've fostered a situation where everybody works on everything together and nobody gives a fuck about anything. Everybody shouts each other out, man. It's not a
yeah.
thing where people are trying to keep everything to themselves.
Yeah, and who knows? Even, with this thing that we're doing right now and when we get finished with that, that's not all that we're going to do. Not
No,
at all.
not at
Um
all. And tell you the truth, Pepsi, I posted the thing 4 days ago for this idea to do an official release, right? Because we've done our internal releases, right, just for the players to be able to play on the roster that we currently use. And I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we just did like an official release and just put it out for everybody? You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I made that post 4 days ago. So this thing got put together and last night it was finalized. So it got put together in like under 4 days.
Ain't that some?
Yeah, it's remarkable what can happen when everybody's actually working together on something, and that it's not a bunch of people trying to stab each other in the back and or run with cult-like behavior, trying to tell people they can't talk to other people or they can't be in a certain server. Or, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, man. It's just going to be amazing. And there's still a lot of discoveries, whether you're just playing the game regularly or if you're just trying to code or mod or do any of this stuff. There's still a lot of discoveries that we need to find out. I mean,
Yes,
what can we do with the customs on Xenia? What
right,
can we do with the animations on the game? What can we do with the hitboxes?
right.
What can we do to possibly have unlimited characters.
Right.
I mean, there's just so much potential with this fucking game. It's insane. And we're just going to keep digging and digging and digging until we find gold.
Yeah, and tell you the truth, with what we're getting ready to release, there's enough there's enough customization with what we're getting ready to release where dude we've got enough and how fast it can be done now. We've got enough to keep this game fucking feeling fresh where our grandkids go fucking be playing this game and have a fresh roster of people. You know what I mean? Like there is so
Yeah.
much and not get tired of it. And but like you said, we seem to be figuring new shit out on a daily basis, sometimes an hourly basis with this thing. And what else is going to happen too is AI, the speed that it's going, it's going to be able to really work well on things like this when it comes to like being able to do cool shit with an existing old game. Like for example, like the they never had source code for Mario 64 or for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Nobody ever had access to the source code, but they were
Yeah.
actually able to go back and recreate it painstakingly just by playing the game and observing like what it does when you do certain things or whatever, right? So they're
Yeah.
guarantee in the next couple of years they're gonna have some AI shit where it's just like, oh yeah, just drag and drop this game in there and it'll shit out basically fucking source code for you. You know what I mean?
Which
Even
is going to be so fucking cool and
right,
so fucking insane.
yeah, and we're that's 100% gonna happen, man. I mean the
Oh,
amount of shit
yeah.
that's happened in this game in the last 2 years is already mind blowing. And if any of that shit, we got enough to rock with this shit forever, man. And it's like if any of the other cool shit happens, then so be it. But if it never gets 1 ounce better than what we've got, I'm perfectly fine with that because what we've got is a lot.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's just going to be incredible. And, just modding in general is just amazing. I'm so excited for what the future really holds for just basically everything, especially for UD Free and what we're working on, what our incredible modders are working on. I'm just really excited for the future, man. I cannot wait until this shit releases for good.
Yeah, and also what we're doing too is it's we're just incorporating all of this under one big thing where it's like this isn't just a mod. UUC is not just a mod. It's we've got an entire online community. We've got our league. We do 2 live shows a week. We've got camps that you can join and get better at the game. We're getting ready to do instructional series of videos for new players because our goal with all this is to get new blood and interested in this game, obviously. And the
Yes.
way you do that is by making it super fucking accessible. Like, because I see a lot of cool shit of mods and things sometimes, and I'll be like, man, that looks cool. I'm gonna try that, and you find out it's like this 5 stage fucking process you got to do, and it's like, dude, fuck it, I already lost interest. But if we can make this shit so easy to get into, so easy to learn, to pick up and play, because as we know, this game's kind of easy to pick up and play, but it's so hard to master. But
Yes.
if we can already get people up to like a purple belt level and like pretty quickly, I think that's going to give so many more people stick around to try to get to that brown and black belt level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man. Just think with the videos that we're going to do for everything, and just I mean all the updates, all the things that we can do. I feel like what we need now is just advertisements. We need promotion.
Yep,
We
and
need this stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and infantry. It's funny you should mention that because infantry's making us a badass video and stuff right now. He just sent me over the audio for it. The audio is fire. And we're gonna do a 58-second version that we can share on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and then we're gonna do a longer, more in-depth version of it. But everything's just gonna come
Okay.
back. If you want the mod, if you want to play in the league, whatever you need from it, that's fine. But you got to come to us to get it. You got to come to our server and get it. So
Okay. That is awesome. That is
yeah,
freaking awesome.
yeah.
Infantry is the man.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to talk about a bad motherfucker, dude. Infantry can just we're just blessed to have so many talented people that are being generous with their time and their skills and their knowledge. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. I like infantry a lot. I never had a problem with infantry at all. Um, I watch his streams. I watch his content.
He's so
He's
talented.
super good. Yes, he is awesome. I mean, even he's a voice actor. He's
Yeah,
a
I was
fucking
gonna
voice.
say, dude, he came in and helped out on the booth the other day, and made us all look like complete amateurs. I was like, yeah, that's how you're supposed to do the fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, with us, we're just fucking having fun.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, he shows up and he shows out. He's an incredible guy, and what he's doing with us and just helping us, it's just incredible, and we are so fucking thankful for that guy.
yeah, that's the thing, dude. If it was just up to me, you and Skull, like in some way, like when we started this thing, we wouldn't have got 1% of where we are right now without all
Exactly.
these cool people, dude.
Yep, you're right about that because I don't know shit about modding. I don't know shit about sculpting. I don't know shit about shit, dog. I don't know nothing. Uh,
Well, that this puts us right about an hour, my friend. You got anything else before we head out? Cause I gotta be jumping off.
yeah, I do have a few things basically to say. Cannot wait for season 3. Uh, make sure to follow the MMA 8 Ball on X, Twitter, whatever you fucking call it, Elon Musk's world. Um, yeah, make sure to follow that guy because he's absolutely incredible. That guy is me, and also follow Krusty Boy on Twitch because that guy is amazing, which is also me. Uh, just in general, you should probably follow me now. Um, but love you guys, love everything, and I cannot wait for the next one.
Sounds good. And for myself, for Pepsi Man, we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.